Guys, welcome back to the channel. Jaisa ki aap dek saktain, mera background thoda beto gaya hai kyunki main is wak Europe travel kar raha hun. Currently, main Prague main hun or bas apkia subscribe button debain ka intizar kar raha hun. To thodi kenjusi chodai, jaldi se subscribe kiji taki hum 100k subs hit carrion or main wapas guard ja sakun. To aj humar pasek bait hayajib or obnoxious, badtamiz, defendant hain. Janab kox speedy trial, jaldi insaf, bichahi, or sath hai sathas trial ki tayari kuliya der sarawak bichahi. Matlab, kaubi or bakaobi, dano hath main ladu chahi in hain. Chali shura kar.
Macario Martinez, 237407ST, 226707ST, and 162435FY. Concerning the matters then we were set over from last time, Mr. Downing, in regard to the underlying matters that are left open, has there been any progress?
Your Honor, an offer, I believe, was extended to Mr. Martinez by letter dated June 8th, while he's been incarcerated in the jail. We have not heard what his response is, so I will leave it to Mr. Martinez whether he wishes to enter a plea pursuant to that on the two files he has to that offer or seek an adjournment.
All right, we're also here for sentencing on a number of contempt. So in regard to the two open charges, Mr. Martinez, and your proceeding here today in general, are you choosing to proceed without a lawyer here today?
Yes,
Yeto apki sabs peli galti ti. Or jaisa ki aap age dekni whale hain. In hain kud hai apna case larna hai self-representation. Lekin sath hai sathya barbar aro rahi hain ki kud apna case larn kukidni
07 and 7407. Ms. Cass apparently sent you another offer after we had court last time. Mr. Martinez, I have no idea what that offer is. The court is not part of any plea bargaining. You have both of these cases here. What is your position in respect to whatever they sent you?
I would like to file a motion to have charges all dismissed due to the Speedy Trial Act. And also, I didn't get, last time we were in court, I expressed to the court that I wasn't able to have reasonable time or inadequate law books. They're old. I only got it.
Kia expect kardi hain? Court apko al sal ka wakta taki aap jakar law ki degree la ayin? Deki, Constitution apko apna case kud larn ka hak zero dita hai, lekin Constitution to apko ajib harkatin karn ki bi ijazat dita hai. Iska matlab ya bilkul nahi hai ki jo apka hak hai, wo ap zero carrion. Agar law ki samaj nahi hai. To lawyer rakna hai akla.
Freedom of speech and the rules of professional conduct. I'd like to read my motions.
All right, go right ahead.
For every waste of time and the money of the people and their state, I would like to say this under the right of free speech, and I would like to invoke on my rights, civil and state laws, to state and file motions and to be treated fairly by judge and prosecution, to uphold all the laws that are to be held in the courts, and so as me representing myself can have a fair chance without having rights infringed upon by any members of the court, and I'm doing so. I'd like to file a motion to have all charges dismissed upon my rights being infringed and violated. Due to these reasons, rights to speedy trial and to have adequate time to with representing myself, and in doing so, these are my civil rights and need to be enforced and protected. not enough time to study, even after motion, or the judge throughout plea, not able to study in a reasonable time, having defended myself when it was brought to the court's attention and prosecution. If need to, it's all on court record, transcripts and rights of trial by jury, and adequate time to have my own witnesses.
Ko iski batan main contradiction, ustad panti, samaje rahi hai? Shurut yez bat se karta hai ki iski speedy trial ko hak ko China ja raha hai. Lekin fur ya ac demand rak dita hai jisk liya isko kud apna speedy trial ka hak.
And the prosecution knowingly didn't explain what or help me, which is repugnant and biased by the court. And for also the court saying and giving false advice, and also for my bond being excessive and also biased in setting bond by stating it's more than fair when I was unable to bond out. And when it was amended, I have reasons why 30 days from the timeline of being able to represent myself is being infringed on. And I'd like to have my trial by jurors, and these are the few offhand as to why. Most of the Speedy Trial Act and also False Pretense Act 774.49, they have to abide by all Supreme Court rules and also rules of professional conduct. Opinion 4, which is federal, asking for help retaining for motion. Prosecutors Rule 3.8, didn't take action or all actions, making sure my rights were protected. And Rules 4.3, if they know the law and what I'm saying, these are U.S. Supreme Court, Michigan rules, and 30 days minimum for U.S. Supreme Court 3161-C2, Dismissal Speedy Trial Act 3162 and 3164, 1974, 18, and discipline of all attorney 3161, knowing I'd never be able to proceed without justification. Rules 3.2, repugnant or imprudent prejudicing impartial trial, miscarriage. Also People versus Lehman, stating that I shouldn't be in jail or in prison for fines when able to prove I was unable to meet the court's obligations. And I was also in jail during the time of
Izban Karona Kabikadam Hai Nahi Hoda. Peli Izni Speedy Trial Manga, Court Ni Didia. For Janab Apni High Speedy Trial Par Gayab Ho Gay, Show Up Hai Nahi Hu. Jab Situation AC Ho, To Judge Par Koi Majbori Nahi Hodi Kiwo Opki Speedy Trial Kahak Kao Bishay Rake, Kyunki Apnkad Wahan Na Akar Apna Hak Gawa, Wave, Dia Hai. Ways, Speedy Trial Ek Thoda Complex Matter High or Harbar Isa Nahi Hoda. Kuch Halat Badal Bi Sakt Hain Jahan Judge Koya Lag Faisla Lasake. Lekin is case main Toya.
I've asked every day to go to the law library and kited, and there's no way that my act to speedy trial, if you need that read, can ever be met. And I got a bunch of federal laws to that. If we have to go through all them, why? Or I can write them up in a motion to have more reasons for dismissal.
All right, thank you, Mr. Martinez. Mr. Downing, do you wish an opportunity to respond, or do you want an opportunity to do a written response, or where are you at with that?
That's a very rambling, if you want to call it, motion. I don't know how any kind of speedy trial is impacted here, in as much as one of these was just set for trial and the first trial date was today. He also failed to appear on the other one. He's set for sentencing on that. If he's complaining about legal research, he has a right to a court-appointed attorney to assist him in advising him of all that. I do note the record 2 handwritten responses from Mr. Martinez in response to Ms. Cass's offer letter asking to discuss the offer with her. It says nothing in there about speedy trial or anything of that nature. To the extent that he's setting himself up or trying to set himself up for these objections, I don't think there's any basis for it whatsoever. But if the court would like a written response, we would need a transcript of what he has rambled on about here in order to decide what it is exactly he's arguing.
All right, in regard to the matter, we've spent a good hour and a half or more on the record. I think it was last week, maybe the week before. We went through a whole plea colloquy. We got down to the end. The deal had been made. He decided at the last minute then he wanted to have a trial. So we set this matter over to today's date. He didn't want a lawyer then. He doesn't want a lawyer now, yet you want to complain that you don't have access. You're going up against people with 8 years of education. Which is it, Mr. Martinez? You want to represent yourself or you want a lawyer?
I want to represent myself, but I also was given false information by some court officers that I wasn't allowed to have a standby counsel or have advice by a counsel. And I know there's also a federal law that says that I'm able to have third-party advice. So I like I said, I only got out for 2 days, really, the last 2 days. I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to study upon the law, which I stated last time that the law books are and pages are missing out of them. And I showed guards that last night. Like there's no way that will have 30 days to be able to study and defend myself from the time of this trial. And it states that as a federal law and if you want to see the Speedy Trial Act, I have it right here. I can read it off.
Pretty familiar with that. I've been at it about 35 years now.
Okay.
So in regard to the matter, Mr. Martinez, your motions are denied. In regard to your lack of a speedy trial issue, the following is my finding. One, first off, I'm going to sentence you on all of these failures to appear in contempt of courts. Last week, you had the opportunity. I dismissed and purged 2 of them. If you pled on 2 of them, we got through the whole plea colloquy on that, and you didn't want that either. So then we went through the hearings, and I found you guilty of 4 contempts because you failed to appear 3 times and you haven't paid. We're looking at a 2016 case that you still haven't paid on. So this is my sentence. You want to say anything in respect to your failures to appear sentencing before I impose sentence, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, there's federal laws state and that you cannot imprison somebody for fines being
Fine a lag ot hain or court-ordered sanctions a lag. Agar court any apko pays deen ka hukum dia hai or ap nahi dai. To apki pas koi solid waja honi chahi. Warna aap par contempt of court, adalat ki tahin, lajeji or agli sari hearings aap jishi 711 kakakar kadib kapiche se nahi. Baki Sita Zoom Jail Center SE attend
You guys know the law. You're supposed to uphold it on both sides. I know that.
Well, I made my findings. You are able to appeal anything
you gave me
wish.
bogus
Mr.
information.
Martinez.
You're not supposed to give me legal information. That's not you're not supposed to do that. The only thing you can tell me is I can go by representation or I'm allowed to have an attorney. You gave me bogus laws to look up and information and you were biased. So
That's
there's another reason.
Well, Mr. Martinez, your objections are noted for the record and preserved. In regard to the matter on the failure to appear and failure to pay in 162435 FY, I'm imposing 45 days in jail, 23 days of credit on both counts. In respect to 226707 ST, 2 failures to appear, 45 days in jail, credit for 23 days concurrently with the other case. In regard to your outstanding cases, the 237407 ST, we will set that for trial on July 10th. That'll be all-day trial. That one will come first. And we will set the 226707 ST trial for just for a call that day. But we're going to try the newer one first. The older one, he's already failed to appear on it twice. I'm making the following findings in respect concerning Michigan Court Rule 6.004, speedy trial. In regard to the matter, concerning Mr. Martinez, bond is set at 1,000 personal recognizance. Actually, it's set at 1,000 personal recognizance in 237407 ST. I don't think I'm going to set that one first then. In regard to the 226707, he has a bond on the failures to appear. He's already been sentenced on those. He's serving time on them now. The underlying bond on the driving charge is, can you pull it up on JIS, please?
Bond for the failures or for the underlying is 2,500 cash or 10%.
All right, we'll set that one for trial first then.
Which one?
The 226707 ST. The newer one has a PR bond on it. So there's no requirements for time on that.
Okay, so there'll be a firm trial date on
July 10th.
7/07.
Yes, on July 10th. And concerning the matter then, in regard to the court rule, Mr. Martinez has been incarcerated since his arrest on May 25th on all of these matters that were outstanding. The trial is set for July the 10th, which is beyond 28 days. However, at this point in time, Mr. Martinez is, one, serving a sentence, two, has failed to appear numerous times in this trial previously, including several trial dates that were set timely. And the reason that it's not going to trial, for example, I gave him a timely trial date back on April 29th of 22, and he didn't do us the courtesy of bothering to come to court. So I am finding under the court rules there is good cause and clear and convincing evidence that's been demonstrated that he's likely to fail to appear for future proceedings should I give him a PR bond on this case. So for those reasons, I'm leaving the bond in place. We'll set a firm trial date for July.
Alpha's main. Motion to dismiss denied. Artsy Courage Card D Guy.
Court clerk, she'll refer it to the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission. They'll decide whether you qualify. In the meantime, the sheriff has the purview of the resources over there. You're entitled to use the jail resources. The sheriff is the one that's going to decide what the time parameters are. I don't have any control over the sheriff. So you can complain. Your record is set. You have made your record. It's all preserved here today. But in respect to the issue, if you really want to have some assistance and you have some meaningful legal advice, I would suggest you apply for a lawyer instead of just complaining about it. But that might actually get you somewhere. So I don't know, Mr. Martinez, it's on you. In the meantime, an appeal to circuit court may be taken within 21 days from the date of your sentence, or as permitted pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 6.625B, if the sentence includes incarceration, and if you wish to file an appeal but are financially unable to do so, MIDC will appoint a lawyer for you if that request is made within 14 days after your sentencing. In regard to the issue of trial, I request for jury instructions and whatnot. The pretrial order was released. I sent out a pretrial order last year. Those 10 deadlines remain in place. Mr. Martinez, we'll see you for trial July the 10th.
Yep.
Anything changes in the meantime, you know what to do. Yes, the balance due remains outstanding. Payable commencing 30 days after his release from jail and every 30th day thereafter. And that's $100 a month on that outstanding 2016 case. All right, thanks.
Guys, to yet TAAJ key video. Jaisa ki main bataya, main filho Prague main hun or Europe gum raha hun. Mera agla stop Bratislava high, or uski bad, dek hain kahan jana hoda high. Agar video pazan ayito like zero or carrion, nahi pazan ayito dislike carrion. Lekin nache comment karna mat bulna. Orhan, subscribe karka notifications zero on kar lina taki aap mera koi be content miss na carrion.